Okay, we were on number 4 on page 374. That was talking about an old magic trick that put an object 25 centimeters from the mirror, and the image ended up at the same spot. And it wants to know what's the radius of curvature of this mirror. So 1 over f is equal to 1 over do plus 1 over di. And this time you're solving for f because remember the radius is just equal to 2 times f. So 1 over 25 centimeters plus 1 over 25 centimeters. And I hope you're noticing you got to keep your units, okay? It's not just 1 over 25. You need your units on there. This is going to be 2 over 25 centimeters. So 1 over f is equal to 2 over 25 centimeters. So f is equal to 25 centimeters divided by 2, or 12.5 centimeters. And that means r is, which is 2f, is equal to 25 centimeters. Now, it is possible, and I was kind of hoping that it would be true, that you might have realized that, of course, r is going to be 25, because remember, this is the case where if you put the object at DO, to put the object at C, then the image ends up at C and is the same size, okay? So had you realized that, you could have just said objects at C, so image will be at C, and therefore C or R must be equal to, sorry, I'm trying to find a new page, equal to DO. All right, flip the page to 376, number 5. An object is 4 centimeters in front of a concave mirror. So DO is 4 centimeters. Having a 12 centimeter radius. So radius is 12 centimeters, which means F is 6 centimeters. Locate the image using the mirror equation and array diagram. So mirror equation, 1 over F is equal to 1 over DO plus 1 over DI. And I didn't say this earlier, but you do not have to change these to meters. That's just going to give you nasty numbers. So keep them as centimeters as long as they're all the same. And it'll make your numbers easier to manage. So 1 over 6 centimeters minus 1 over 4 centimeters. Common denominator should be 12. So this will be 2 over 12 centimeters minus 3 over 12 centimeters. So 1 over di is equal to negative 1 over 12 centimeters. So di is equal to negative 12 centimeters, where the negative means virtual. Okay? So on the di, it means virtual. When it's on a magnification or a height, unfortunately, it means inverted. Number 6, a concave mirror has a focal length of 9 centimeters. Oh, just backing up here. Look where the object is. It's between F and the lens. That's why we get a virtual image, just like we did in that last case. Okay, so 9 centimeters. A 15 millimeter high, so that's your HO, a 15 millimeter high object is placed 6 centimeters from the mirror. That's your DO. Again, notice that it's less than the F, so it's between F and the mirror again. And the question wants you to find the image. I forgot to draw the diagram up here. Shoot, sorry about that. So drawing the diagram, here's F, here's C, here's the object. Object going in parallel to the principal axis will come out through F. An object going in through C will come out back along C. Follow them back because they're diverging out here. It's going to cross back here. Doing the same thing with the bottom one, in parallel to the principal axis, out through F. Almost in through C. Follow it back, and your image will be here. Okay, larger, virtual, behind the mirror, erect. All right, back to number 6. Find the image using the mirror equation. So 1 over F is equal to 1 over DO plus 1 over DI. So 1 over DI is equal to 1 over F minus 1 over DO. Is equal to 1 over 9 centimeters minus 1 over 6 centimeters. centimeters. Common denominator, I think, would be 36, right? 9, 4, yeah. So 1 over di, I was just double checking, would be 4 over 36 minus 6 over 36. So that's 2 over, oh, it would have been 18. Shoot, I knew that was a smaller one. I just couldn't figure it out. 2 over 36 or 1 over 18, but it's going to be negative. So di is equal to negative 18. Again, where the negative means virtual. And then how large is the image? So hi over ho equals negative di over do. So hi equals negative di ho over do. So hi is equal to negative 18 centimeters times 15 millimeters. And you might think I'm cheating, but I happen to know these centimeters are going to cancel, right? And I'll be left with millimeters. Goes in 3, negative will give me a positive. Hi should end up being positive 45 millimeters. Positive because it's a rect. And whoever came up with these rules, I guess, liked a rect better than virtual, a rect better than inverted, and didn't care that it wasn't consistent. Number 4, a 4 centimeter high, so it's number 7, but it's a 4 centimeter, maybe 4 millimeter, no, it is 4 centimeter high candle is placed 10 centimeters, do. 10 centimeters come from a concave mirror having a focal length of 16 centimeters. So F is 16 centimeters. Again, we can tell it's going to be virtual. 1 over F is equal to 1 over do plus 1 over di. So 1 over di is equal to 1 over F minus 1 over do. 1 over 16 minus 1 over 10. Common denominator is 80. 5 over 80 minus, 8 over 80. 1 over di equals negative 3 over 80. So di equals negative 80 over 3. Do not leave it like this. You might leave it like this in math, but you would never leave it like how high is something? 80 over 3 centimeters. Like that means nothing in our lives. It's equal to negative 26.6 repeating centimeters, and the negative means virtual. How far away is something? Yeah, negative, it's 80 over 3 centimeters. That gives us a good feel, doesn't it? What is the height? So hi over ho is equal to di over do with the wonderful negative. Hi is equal to negative di ho over do. So hi is equal to negative 26.6 repeating times 4 centimeters over 10. And you get a positive 10 2/3 or 10.6 repeating centimeters. And the last one, what should be the radius of curvature? So we're looking for r. What should be the radius of curvature of a concave mirror that magnifies an object placed, so the object is being placed 25 centimeters away, and it magnifies it by a factor of 3, and it's positive 3. So magnification is equal to negative di over do. So di will be equal to negative magnification times do. So negative 3 times 25 centimeters. So our di is negative 75 centimeters. So then you go 1 over F is equal to 1 over do plus 1 over di. I'm going to run out of time. 1 over 25 minus or plus 1 over negative 75, which in the end becomes minus. So 1 over F is 3 over 75 minus 1 over 75, which is 2 over 75. So F will end up equaling 37.5, and then you need to double it. So R is 75 centimeters. This is 2 over 75. Sorry, I took a couple shortcuts because I thought I was going to run out of time. Okay? 75 centimeters is your final answer. All right.